Wednesday. You know what that means. Your two BJJ daddies here to take you through Monday night open mat footage. So let's get it up. Here we go. What's up, James?
What's up, James? Where you been, man? Or maybe I've been missing you. I don't know.
Yeah, he was there this week, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he was?
Were you there Monday? At least for advanced class?
I was not.
Yeah. People dicking around over here. There we go. David, Chris starting. Got a fresh, dry Josh to contend with, immediately shoving me into the wall.
Full of wine and salami.
Yeah. He's weirdly smaller and bigger. Less muscle, more fat. And greasy. Let's see. Hold on one second. So I'm going to play around with these settings real quick because we're flashing the screen again. Whatever. We're going to deal with it.
It was a pretty nice snap. Had a good, healthy collar tie.
From Joshua?
From Josh, yeah.
Yeah.
He went for that foot sweep and he you don't got all night.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever.
I'm not gonna stop the stream to play with video settings, so we'll be fine. Jordan over here sat to guard against Danny, which was interesting. I don't know how much
I haven't
Jordan.
seen him do that.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. I honestly feel like he'd be good on the feet anyway, and he knows that just from his wrestling. So yeah, it's good to see him trying some new things here. Danny crowding with the leg up the middle.
I'm really liking David's approach here in the guard of Chris. We always talk about how good Chris's guard is, but he's not diving in. He's not trying to run around and all that stuff. You can see him trying to use a knee staple here. I have problems stapling the knees or stapling his thighs right down to the mat with my knee. But you can see David is giving in a good effort here. So
yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah, trying to work to get to inside position and take a more controlled approach.
Caleb with a quick toe hold on Jason in the back.
Oh, what a dirty boy. Yeah, nice. Got him off balance. I just want to go back real quick. Cooper, shut your mouth first off. Jordan, when you go to sit to guard, I want you to keep in mind, like, a lot of the stuff we talk about with like half guard, where we emphasize the fighting for the underhook. That's an important thing here too, as Danny is starting to advance. Like, we see your frame here kind of going across the body. You could pummel in for an underhook here and point your knees to the ground, get your hips up, and you're in a fighting position, right? Where you could do like a knee tap double or shuck and by to take the back. You don't just have to get flattened out here, getting your arms isolated. You're giving Danny good opportunities to keep your top elbow and top knee separated, right? Which that's, taking away any chance of a guard that you can set up there. And then, Turtle's not bad, but we obviously don't want you to go there if you can avoid it. Go ahead.
But I mean, the arm across the body that you're essentially giving Danny what he loves the most, which is the darce, right? So I don't mind where your hand was right before this, but as soon as you start coming up to either the cross armpit post or like what you have here down low by the knee, you start giving him access to throwing in this darce, and you can see him kind of baiting it, if you will.
Yeah, whenever your elbow sneaks across his center line, that's where you're gonna find yourself in some trouble. So something to play around with. If you're gonna play from like a seated guard and stuff like that, which I strongly encourage you to keep working on. See how that works for you, as far as like guard retention goes. Is that Cooper or Camden and Pat? Okay. So Josh made his way up to a mounted triangle, and I didn't do anything with it. He was really bad. Like I was definitely in some trouble here, but I think he forgot a lot of stuff while he hasn't been training, like how to finish submissions in general. What I thought you were going to do here, Josh, you know, enough talking shit to you. Stay tuned. I thought so. As you were leaning heavy in this direction, I figured you were gonna roll onto your right shoulder. You know, roll over your right shoulder onto your back, and then just work the triangle from a standard, you know, position on your back, as opposed to trying to get it from the mount, which is not a bad option. You could, you know, be very effective setting up a mounted triangle, attacking arms, everything from that top position. If you feel like you've done everything you can't get to like a good tight figure four, you know, in this case, your left hand will grab your right shin. You could fall to your right shoulder, encourage me to turn up, you know, and start, you know, I probably won't stack, but you would want to take me in that direction that would encourage that. And then you could start cutting your angle and working a regular triangle. Well, get a better phone, Coop. I don't know what to tell you, man. Get a job. Go buy a real phone. Go get an Android.
That's just sitting on the head.
Yeah, Pat's just making it miserable.
Probably Cam.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Cam.
Yeah. Oh, we got Jordan on top now.
We got Brandon, and I can't remember this new guy's name.
Ben.
Ben. Okay. Another Ben. Okay.
Another Ben.
Maybe I'll remember that.
Yeah, we only accept members with duplicate names.
Duplicates. We're not accepting any new members.
Nope. So Danny shot for a Darce, but didn't get Jordan to like turn over with it. Jordan managed to keep a good posture and not get crunched into it. Took the opportunity to take top mount, and now I really like what you're doing, Jordan, with using that underhook to try to elevate Danny's arm. Here's the thing though, it's another thing for you to try. Like if you think about it, your hand's really close to Danny's head, so that's going to force you to try to open up his arm with your elbow, right? With only like your deltoid working. You'll see a lot of people doing something called like ratcheting the arm up, where they'll put their hand flat to the mat and they'll spider walk their hand up. They extend their hand straight, and then they push and straighten their arm, and they take up the slack, push, straighten the arm, and take it up that way. They're working by the elbow, and they're using more of their back and their arm as opposed to just their arm or shoulder. I think you should have no problem getting people's arms isolated. It's just going to be a matter of technique here. So bring that up to me next time I see you, if you want to see more of what I'm talking about. Say something. David working to the body lock pass now. His arms are a little high up the body, not quite at the hips. Let's see if he could get over that knee though.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
I can normally get the underhook on Chris, but I struggle with a knee cut pass trying to get past those legs or that. Oh. Yeah, I get about here.
I thought we went over this like weeks ago, didn't we?
That.
Yeah. I mean, you spilled those beans, I think, subtly. And now you're just saying it outright.
Yeah.
I guess maybe for those who couldn't put it together. Coop, I don't, or Camden, I don't, not, I mean, I think Camden's trying to kip, but just going about it all the wrong way. Well, you did say it privately. I think you told a few of us in confidence, and then you couldn't handle the suspense of like it being out there, and maybe someone would drop the news without it being you.
Oh, Pat gets a smother on Cam.
Dirty. Did he have yeah, he had his arm isolated and everything. Good. Nice, Pat. Cam, earlier on.
Oh, Steven was there.
Oh yeah, he came in. Couldn't get his heart rate up. Had to just shuffle around and be all depressed. As I would be too.
Yeah.
As I will be, because I won't be training until my knee feels better. But let's see, for Cam. So when I have people putting me in this smother, the very first thing I'm trying to do is just find any sort of place for my face to fit where it's not obstructed. Cam's really trying, and I understand why, to hit this kip escape. You know, we always tell you guys kipping escapes are done when your opponent is chest to chest heavy or chest to face. When they're upright, that's where you're probably going to go for things like your elbow escapes. But when I'm dealing with a smother, normally this hand is going to go right into the armpit, just V-grip into the armpit. I'm pushing up as much as I can and tucking my chin as much as I can and turning to the outside so that my breathing isn't impeded. I'm not getting, waterboarded by a wet gi, and my nose isn't getting crushed. Those are really the breathing and the nose getting crushed are the two things that like suck the most about smothers. So I would skip on the kipping attempts right now and focus on getting your face safe as Pat lays on the smother. He's going to need to adjust. That's where you can then start working in more effective frames across the hip, which you don't have any right now, which is one of the reasons why your kip probably isn't working well, on top of a few other things. But you've got to address this smother at the moment, and that's the way you're going to do it. Did Josh just change his name again?
100%.
Yeah. You should start doing Tren and then join, fight your way into the UFC, because breaking news, starting January 1st, they are not
no longer testing.
Yeah, they're not working with USADA. Another toe hold from Caleb over here in the corner. So as Jason gets past, or starts to get past, goes to spin the leg. Okay, yeah. So Jason, you can clean this up. I love what you're doing. This is a great idea. So as you go to set up this move, right, you're looking, I'm assuming you're either looking to go knee bar or spin all the way to cross ashi, which I would advise going all the way, rather than just stopping at like that reverse ashi. Your shin should be across his lap, like, connecting across, his two hip joints. Think about it that way. And you lead with your knee in a circular path around. You can take your time doing this. Like, you don't need to speed through the spin. This will prevent any sort of sloppy motion, and which in this case looks like you leaving your leg behind. Take your time with this one until you decide you want to try to do it fast. Like, I want to see you doing this one slow and controlled, because you definitely can. That's one of the benefits about it. You get up into that position, and maybe maybe you do it to Caleb. He thinks, oh, he's going to spin my leg. So he goes to bridge, he opens his legs up, and you say, psych, I'm actually going to pass your guard now. So taking your time through that gives you those two options. I mean, I don't know. That's my take on it. You got anything to add?
No. I mean, I think those are definitely the highlights of it.
Yeah, we're going back to Pride era MMA. We're gonna see Alistair Overeem come out of retirement. I don't know about that. Someone posted Alistair Overeem, Brock Lesnar 2 for UFC 300.
Looks like a miserable wizard from Jordan.
Yeah.
But I really like how David turned that into a pull. So here's like kind of a really good wrestling tactic, right? Is you could see that Jordan is really laying in some shoulder pressure here, and it doesn't look like that David is really too phased about it. And the reason is number one is because Jordan's really not driving across the body to put any sort of like shoulder pressure on David. David's kind of slipping his elbow into like this middle ground, and he's using it as now the ability for him to grab instead of push with an underhook. He's using it to pull the shoulder, and he's using that to effectively get into this snapping position. It's very effective. Because he can use his elbow to block Jordan here, so that Jordan can't take that full step in to try and hit that Uchimata or that inside trip, and then he uses that momentum to snap him back down. It was really slick.
Yeah.
I like the seatbelt setup from David there. Let's see how he goes for the back, if he does. His left knee isn't as high as I'd like to see.
Yeah, his shin's kind of pointing back behind him.
Yeah, you can tell he's very tentative, and I didn't like the way that he fell back on his leg right there. Not that it's wrong, it's just not safe, right? Like, you know, you can get him down, but man, I'd blow my knee out doing that.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see the shin flat against your partner's back during that back take. But altogether, it did work. But David, if you do watch that, I would be very, very careful with your leg position there.
Yeah, just fold your shin in against his back.
Yeah.
And you're good and safe.
Good use of 2-on-1s from Jordan here.
I just want to go back real quick to see how I got around Chris's guard.
Yeah, Ashi, big back step.
Oh, yeah, so just more that like standing from half guard, foot in the hip, pin the shoulders down, step around, close the distance. I had to cradle him up there, stack the legs.
Getting behind the knees with your right knee there.
Yeah, okay. Here we go. Brandon takes a lackluster shot on Danny here. Danny kind of already has him broken down. Yeah, you got to clear that arm first, bro, before you do that, Brandon. Looking right here.
Yeah. And can you go back to the hand? I want to see. So you've got an underhook on the right side. Danny has a collar tie with his right side. Okay. So Danny has no underhook on you whatsoever. And what I mean by that is, while Danny's playing with, trying those inside trips, and you decide to go onto your left side, which is where the collar tie is, you have an opening on your right side, Danny's left side, to start really imposing that underhook. So you can think about it as like Matt said, you really need to clear that arm, but you already have the other arm clear. So you effectively have a very good hand position here. It's just, being able to cut the angles the right way in order to make this position more effective. Yeah, I mean, that was really nice. If he would have set that, like if he would have been able to clear that collar tie, that would have been a pretty solid knee pick.
Andrew's taking it to Caleb right now. Doesn't have a fully, yeah, like he didn't quite have a good posture. Okay, poked his eye. That's good. Gotta do what you gotta do. Get every advantage you can. Oh, Jordan trying to hit a Makikomi here.
I'm really digging the pressure that David's putting on here.
Like, yeah, he's making Jordan wear a lot of the weight.
And it's not like David when he started, which was kind of just throwing on pressure for the sake of pressure.
Yeah.
Like he's using a lot of solid technique here and patience.
Yeah, and just there, it looked like he was trying to break down with the power half Nelson, but he didn't have his legs in a good position. But he didn't give up the position. He said, all right, let me not focus on breaking him down. Let me first get my leg connection sound, and then we'll go back up top. Now he's making a switch to an armbar, belly down armbar.
Oh. That is a really tough armbar to hit when your partner has the grip already.
Yeah.
Like, it's not impossible. Don't get me wrong. I suck at it personally, but
it's easier to get them to roll over than it is.
So much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jordan in with a nice solid pass, going into a crucifix here on David. The tide turned quickly here.
Yeah. Gets the knee down, cuts by.
Beautiful, and scored that underhook. So David or Jordan, I don't know who's who watches the stream or whatever, but just notice that Jordan does not relinquish any sort of the underhook in this, right? So he gets up, immediately pushes down on that knee, but his right arm is ready to fire that underhook in as he starts his knee cut. I would like to see from an improvement point on Jordan's part is when you do a baseball slide, a knee cut baseball slide, I really want to make sure that the right knee in this case is going up underneath the right shoulder of David. So you can see how he's cutting back. He starts the knee cut, and you see how like the gap between the knee and the shoulder is there. What that's doing is that it's giving David all the room in the world to get a very effective frame in between him and Jordan.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan's putting, he starts to correct it and starts to bring his knee up. But, think about the fight that you would have or how easy the fight would be if you already cleared that arm as you were cutting across. It just takes a little bit away from the efficiency of the movement when you leave that gap.
Chris swept me at some point. Goes on his back. He gets his hips loose. Turns to me. Okay. Did anything good happen here? No. All right. He's just taking top position. That was a good match between the two of them.
Yeah.
Danny getting a north-south strangle. That was weird.
Yeah. It was a thread of the guillotine. Danny rolls over the shoulder, which I like this. And then immediately comes up on top.
Yeah, I feel like Brandon maybe had a chance to do something with this.
It's
tough.
Yeah.
And then now, I think Brandon was maybe tapping a little, not prematurely, but preemptively. No need to get your head smashed too much, but
right.
I feel like Danny's leg configuration here is a little squirrely. Like he could easily be taken in that direction.
I think, yeah, that was exactly my thought, was that, normally when I'm in this position, I promote, or like when I see people in this position, I promote flat hips to the mat,
Right.
facing down towards the mat. And for Brandon, this is an easy armpit push and reversal, the way that Danny's legs were configured.
Oh, can't give Danny your head that easily.
No. You go back real quick to Andrew and Caleb. Want to see this knee cut pass. I know Caleb's been working on preventing it, and I see exactly what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Andrew didn't have the underhook.
yeah, exactly. And we do, like, we talk about like the caveats, or like the do as we say, not as we do type of a scenario, or maybe like the rules of thumb that can be bent every so often. And yeah, you can pass without the underhook. Okay. I will say that it requires a lot more stability on top. Like, you really have to, your weight has to be over top of the elbow when you have that whizzer thrown in order to start doing that knee cut pass. You cannot have your head and body north of the elbow. If you do, you give, especially a bigger, stronger partner, is going to be able to get the underhook and immediately come up for either that knee tap double, or a back take, or whatever. So Andrew, if you do watch this or whatever, keep your weight over top of the elbow if you are going to go with the pass with the whizzer or that overhook. If not, then if you don't get the underhook, disengage and get back to the underhook, like pummel, right? Cam's getting after it. Ooh.
Yeah, it's annoying. Hit a little reversal on him there. Subtle moves. He gets down, but with like just an over the back grip, kind of twist him down.
Turn him around, yeah.
Now he's in a little trouble as I can get behind him. And then it was funny as I was doing this, I thought about it, because I remember, like, I think it was maybe during, like, when we first started looking at, like, Danner's, like, Kimura instructional or something. Like, there's a moment where as you go to, like, turn around somebody and hold their arm in place, you do this kind of, like, back motion with your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
And it really was, like, the only thing that keeps Cam from turning, because I don't have hooks in on his legs, so his hips are free to move. The only thing that kept him where he's at is, like, watch my top hand as he goes to roll away. Maybe it was just right, yeah, like right there as he's trying to roll up. Like, I'm flaring my wrist back, keeping him from rolling, and it's a very subtle move, but it does a lot just to kind of like wedge his shoulder in place. Catch, like, right here. I'm doing it till I can get my grip. Yeah. Dude,
you're in a crucifix position too. So, like, when you take the back, you should have his bottom arm trapped for the most part.
That's why I was taking my time there, because when I sat him down, he kept his arm inside, so I just kind of kept it there. Didn't want to let him have that back since he gave it to me pretty easily. I feel like Andrew is going so much easier on Danny than he does against me. I hate it. It's very upsetting.
A lot of people get very tentative based off of the way that they know you play. Yeah. And since, you're game to stand, Danny is game to darce you from any opportunity, right? Or, snatch your head up from any opportunity. So I feel like people play a little bit differently with that, right? and that may be the case. I don't want to speak for Andrew, but
Yeah.
it could be just him being very tentative that exposes his neck.
Flip Danny over nicely though.
Yeah.
Again with the underhook, and a high one too, which was probably, let's see, let's go back a little bit further. I'd say that's a good spot for his arm to be. Danny's not going to darce him from up there, right? That's a variation of the underhook. I know DeBlas said he likes to use that, keeping the arm up by the near shoulder to avoid being darced when you're working from bottom, like bottom half guard, as opposed to around the waist, where any sort of space you leave will give your opponent an opportunity to darce you. Never really could get good footing in this exchange with Cam, which is why neither one of us went down. Flickering is not gone, Cooper. I didn't fix anything.
He's just playing Minecraft.
Yeah, right. I like Cooper's decision to switch on this one. I feel like this is something Bertram pulls out of his bag of tricks every once in a while when we're going over takedowns, which I think this is more inspired by like Greco or Sambo, switching to either a head and arm and following it up with a sit through, or even just the head as Cooper's doing here to me, which is akin to like a bulldog choke. Not the most fun spot to be in, but
yeah, Cam.
As he loses, well, maybe I won't say he lost position, but I extend my right arm, and he says, I'm gonna just take you by the head and put you down. And I'm going with that. I'm not gonna support all that weight on my neck. You think you crossed your feet. What do you want me to do about it now? Where even are you? Oh, you with Brandon. There we go. So you get on Brandon's back. So your feet are definitely kind of in the danger zone where you wouldn't want to cross them.
I don't see anything bad right now, at least in this exchange.
Yeah. I don't know why you're not working a body triangle, because
he just
certainly can. So there you kind of, but the cross is on the outside.
Yeah, it's across the hips, so I think you're okay.
Yeah, I don't see. Were you on his back before this? Yeah, you're fine, man. If you felt like there was some pressure there, it may have been while your legs were, kind of sort of crossed up or close together when they were down between his legs, but you're safe there. You're safe unless you don't feel safe. Tap, obviously, but I don't think you'd have anything to really worry about. And then this isn't terrible, how you have your legs configured with your locking leg on the inside. I would prefer you have it on the outside because it's that much harder to disrupt the triangle. There you go.
Switch.
Yeah, good switch. This is where I want to see the legs. So you're trying to arm trap. You're using your top arm, which we talked about. Not the best, but still can be effective. Looks like you got a mandible strangle in here. Going to a short choke, digging with the other arm. Damn, that looked really good, Coop. Everything about that was
solid.
Yeah, it was definitely aggressive. Which I like to see. Just want to see how Cam got. Oh, from here. Cam stays. He gets the half guard and then goes to pass. Okay, that's fine. We go ahead.
That was a really nice regard from Brandon on Cooper. I mean, technically, I guess Cooper didn't pass the guard here, but he was pretty damn close. And Brandon sneaks in this butterfly hook, and then winds up going as Cooper goes to maybe step and pummel out of this leg, out of this hook. Brandon just uses butterfly hooks and gives himself some space here to regard.
Yeah, Brandon, something you could try here. You have a setup for what's called a waiter sweep, where you have the hand on the ankle and you have a knee inside his knee. So if you pull that ankle towards you and extend your leg away and kind of flare Cooper's leg down, that can get him off balance in that direction, put him to his butt, and then you would work to a standing position or the top position. Everything.
Some people do it.
Go ahead. No.
I was just say some people do it with the leg draped over the thigh, but you can also do it exactly like what Matt's saying, which is applying pressure with the knee with a butterfly hook outward towards the knee. Yep. Josh got to Chris's back. They were playing. They had a leg entanglement, and it looks like Josh was able to scoot around and get behind him.
Sneaky. So yeah, how do you do that? So
he had Chris in danger. It looks like he had him in cross ashi, but Chris has been very good. His leg lock defense has become very good especially since he started.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. So he had you in a body triangle here, but kind of low. Good switch.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, he was. Did you? Oh, okay, he had an actual strangle on you. Good. I was gonna say if you tapped from that body triangle, you would not hear the end of it from me. Let's look at this. So we had a body triangle on you like fairly early. That's embarrassing, dude. Wow, dude. Wow. Oh, I gotta go find another moment with Josh. May have been our first roll. So Josh puts himself in a bad spot by reaching up and over here. That just gives Chris his back. So now Chris astutely works his way around, sets up a body triangle, power half, breakdown, very nice. Immediate strangle threat. Love it. And Chris is in a spot I personally don't like, just because I find it uncomfortable, but plenty of like high level guys work from this position with the body triangle on the bottom.
Gordon does. Gordon works from there.
Yeah. We've seen him do that a number of times. If you feel good there, by all means hold it there. There's nothing wrong with it. I just get scared for my own ankle, I guess. But yeah, dude, you must have been in some trouble early on. I assume he got that pretty quickly, since it looked like you were having difficulty finding a spot to actually like initiate the hand fight. But you get your revenge here. So you go into cross ashi, gathering the second leg. So Josh, I would recommend working on some secondary leg attacks to get Chris to want to pull that leg away. Not just like you want him to pull that leg away because he's defending something, not because he's initiating an escape. But now you get him basically into a leg drag, stack behind the knees. It looks like that's how you make your way to the back. Okay, we'll do, Cole. I want to, hold on, let's see, this is 16 minutes. I want to go all the way back to the first roll I had with Josh. I just want to find one funny moment if it happened in this match. If it didn't, we'll look at it later. Yeah, so watch over here. Standing guard break, great standing guard break. Runs right back into my guard. like Steven watching it from across the mat was like, that made my night. Yeah, buddy. Love it. So we were here. You just got your tap on Chris. I think. Yeah. Right here. Oh, okay. It looks like you guys moved. So yeah, same spot for Brandon again. Another opportunity, or maybe that was the same spot as before. Forgot we went back to look at Chris and Josh. So now Josh is fully on the back. Well, almost fully. He's got the high ball ride and gets the strangle. Taking a page out of Coach Luke's book here. Hitting the strangle with the high ball. Good rotational finish to really send it home at the end. I think had you not used that, it looks like Chris was kind of just fine where he was. So hope you recognize the utility of that turn.
Cooper firing in the Ashi.
I can't show you the private conversation.
Nice.
Coop. Sorry, I didn't see Cooper's entrance here. Gets his hips back. Boom. Good.
Oh, that was solid.
Hell yeah. Yeah, probably not. I think Chris knows his limits well enough, so he makes you earn whatever you get on him. Head throw on Cooper. All right, so Chris working from half guard. I like this. He gets the knee up on the hip to kind of wedge the hips in place. Makes that leg extraction a lot easier. And he opts to go straight into mount. I think Bertram went over this technique during half guard week as well. Good to see. Yeah, that's kind of a variation. It's more passing specific as opposed to what we saw Jason trying to do earlier, spinning the leg. This is kind of this favors the pass. It doesn't really give you the opportunity to spin, but it is I feel like probably a more robust way to extract the leg. You're pushing against the hips with that bottom knee and shin as you're pulling your top trapped leg out. So it's I'd say more committed to passing, so you can kind of like make it a higher percentage passing move than you could with maybe the leg spin.
I pulled that straight out of Gordon's first passing instructional. Normally I scoop grip the far leg in order to help put pressure on the hips. That's most of the time that I'm passing. When I pass Chris's guard from half guard, it'll be in that. It'll be using that technique.
Yeah. Well, it's too many with two O's into Cooper.
Not enough grammar.
Get it right, dude. Yeah.
But,
Yeah, too many sports. Not enough English class. I thought you took college English, bro.
That's next year. He's waiting on his advisor.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'm going to talk to his advisor. Josh acting with no urgency on Danny here. Danny giving up both arms. He's just going to try to mount a triangle and not be able to finish it again.
Looks like they're talking to the camera. I wonder if they were.
Josh putting them big old meat patties on his chest to work here.
I couldn't agree more, Cooper.
False. They're all equal. I also wouldn't expect someone to put math and sports on the same side of that. Not an equation, an expression.
I feel like it's balanced.
Cooper working with the overback grip, trying to get him to add this into his arsenal.
There you go.
All right, Brandon. Let's see if you,
Chris. Yeah.
See if you can work out of this one. You're in deep now.
That's a bad spot.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Good finish from Chris. Just because, let's see how he got here.
Side control.
This is actually this is really similar to I went over this movie yesterday. Working from, I'm going to assume he's shin pinning right now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe.
Yeah, because you could see Brandon's arm sneaking out the back there. So I think it is pinned with his right leg.
Yeah, this is great. This is excellent entrance into a rear triangle. Yeah, we went over that exact move yesterday. So what I like about the shin pin is if you do it with the hip side leg, which in this case is the right leg, you have an entrance into a front triangle, that shoulder drop triangle that I like. If you do it with the head side leg, which I think that's what Chris switches into as he makes a step over, or like right before he makes a step over. If he doesn't, he just beats the leg, which is enough. But if you shin pin with the head side leg, you can set up into what's similar to an S mount, except you only have one arm in, so that's a triangle. And you spin your way around the body and get to the rear triangle from there. Really great spot. And then you also, we didn't go over this yesterday, but you also have Americanas. All of a sudden, I think, come back into a higher percentage move when you're working from a shin pin. Or like we saw Jordan do it earlier, he was in a mounted crucifix on David when he got the Americana. I prefer the shin pin just because I think that topside crucifix is like, you can kind of shimmy your shoulders a little bit and get your arm free more easily than you can when it's pinned down by someone's shin and the weight on it. But it makes the Americana a lot more effective. What's up, bruh?
What's up, Andrew?
Josh is he may have forgotten a lot of stuff, but he did not forget how to stay guarded. Brandon, you are getting your back taken left and right here. Yeah, so working from top half.
Oh, I see what happened. Okay.
Yeah, he's in top half and he's committed to the arm. all Chris does is get that bottom leg out and around, and Brandon's arms are on the same side of his body already.
Yeah, so here, Brandon, you would have to have jumped over with your left knee and pinned at this point. So you're scooping. You're doing the pass that I like. Are you scooping? No, you're not.
I'm not sure if he's digging on the arm. Maybe digging for a Kimura.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what he's doing. Okay, never mind. I retract my statement.
I mean, this isn't a bad approach either, Brandon. Where this is going wrong is as Chris is adjusting, he creates space between his hips and your bottom knee. Probably best seen right here. That's what allows him to slip that knee through. Everything the few seconds before that, like, you're doing fine here because you're driving through. You're keeping the knee, your bottom knee pinned against the hip. That's really good. You just kind of have to track him here as he makes those moves, and when he does get that knee in, you can't stay committed onto the Kimura. And I hope you can see why now.
This is where the move goes south. He gets his right elbow in between. You allow him to establish a frame on your hips, and then you don't address the frame. So it's almost like it seems benign. But that frame is very powerful because exactly like what Matt says, that frame is what's allowing Chris to create the space for him to get his right knee out and around.
Yeah, and then from here, this quickly, you would have had to address this, but it goes back to that general rule of when you're in someone's guard, close guard specifically. This is a pretty deep open guard. Like, you're basically almost in a closed guard right now. When you're in a closed guard, don't attack. Just get out of the guard. Like, attack the guard. Don't attack arms. Don't attack the neck, whatever. So a quick adjustment would have had to be made here. Get your left arm back across the body, and then start working on your guard break. So.
Yeah, it definitely started out. It definitely started out in the right direction. It was just one thing that didn't get addressed that I think cascaded into this.
Yeah.
And that's how it is sometimes, right? It only takes one misstep.
Yup. See, Coop tries to break my arm here. Just a little rolling escape.
Going J-Rod on him. Jeez.
Dude, that gives me the willies watching his escapes. Him and his brother, man. I don't know how they pull those escapes off. I mean, I if you watch the Mika match, him and J-Rod, like, if you slow it down, you see that he just inverts his thumb and gets his arm to a position where, like, Mika can't break it. But, like, what makes it look so terrible is that he gets the arm, like, all the way back behind him and is working from there. But in actuality, like, I think his arm is fairly safe because Mika never had any real control over the wrist, like, or control over the orientation of the elbow. It still looks wild, though.
Oh, yeah. Heavy snap from Caleb. Now Caleb's in where he really likes to work here. Oh, and winds up getting it. Slow roll, but he got it.
He nailed one of those on Brandon yesterday, and he was like, God, I haven't hit one of those in so long. Like, it was pretty clean.
Andrew, big collar tie.
Whipping me around, man.
That was beautiful. That's what we want to see with these collar ties.
That like, the foot movement is just, or not even like the foot. I don't want to say just the foot movement. The movement in general, like, when you have connection with somebody, like, this is what, like, Bertram yells at you for when we're doing takedowns and he's not he doesn't see you moving enough when you have a good connection. Like, this is where all Kazushi is born from. Or most, a lot of Kazushi is born from. It's this dynamic dance that you can make your partner do. And Andrew does a great job here. He gets me stepping. One quick little snap with that collar tie.
And then a lift with the right arm.
Yeah, and it puts me right down. Spins me so where he doesn't even have to pass my guard. He just takes my guard all the way around and says, cool, I'm just going to stay past.
That was solid. Beautiful knee tap or knee pick on Brandon for Jason. That was really, it's kind of been his bread and butter lately.
Whatever. Why are you helping him? I didn't see you doing it to Danny earlier. Just me. Ooh.
Ooh. That was
Caleb here getting nasty.
You know, I'm not disappointed at all with the direction of this. We've talked about this, me and Caleb. I know you probably have talked with Mike and everything, but keeping the weight over top of your partner, right? Like, there's one thing that Bertram drilled into my head a long time ago, probably in blue belt, is if you don't have to fall to your back to finish an armbar, then don't. Like, it is way worse. It applies way more pressure if you can get an armbar from the mounted position. And in this case, Caleb is really throwing on kind of, I mean, it's a triangle here, right? But it's kind of like a pseudo S mount. And then, you know, he does wind up falling to his back, but he's doing it, I think, in the right way, which is he's dictating the movement, not Jordan.
Right. What's up, Blake? Thank you for the follow.
Thanks, man.
That's I'm pretty sure that's our new.
Blake?
Yeah, new
okay.
Younger female student.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Gotcha.
not
okay.
Older Blake.
Yeah, no, I met her this weekend.
How did I sweep Andrew? Oh, I didn't really sweep Andrew. Andrew, I think you just gave this up, to be honest. Like, so you're in a good spot. You've got a hook in. I think you just need to focus on working around the back. Like, this is all that chair sit back take. I want your left knee driving all the way up behind my head. You already have the hook, so I feel like you should be able to take my back here. I know it looks like you're trying a leg entrance. Problem is you don't really have one because it's your right leg that's over. If you wanted to go into cross ashi, your left leg would need to be over. Let me clarify that more. If you wanted to sit back into a leg entrance, your left leg would need to be in here. If you wanted to spin around my left leg to the other side where your hips are on my left side, then you can get into cross ashi over there. But the sit back is going to come from having your legs switched. I hope that makes sense. Jordan wants revenge now.
Yeah, he does. Let's see if Maki Komi is in his cards. Let's see. I know Caleb's baiting it.
Gets the bite.
Waiting.
He's got the bite. But what happens when the fat man is covered by another fat man? I was kidding. I had nothing but compliments for Jordan the other day. I was like, you're getting too jacked.
Oh, he tried to go for a similar type armbar.
Yeah,
dives over for the arm.
Damn, that would have been sick. Just back to excited. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You're teaching Saturday, right?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah, all you jiu-jitsu nerds are going to be up in Jersey for the ADCC trials.
Damn right. Forget about it.
Oh, God, please don't. We already have one too many two Italian people now. This loser. Yeah, I'm excited to watch from afar. It'll be nice once we get past the round of 64. I think that'll be fun, just to watch it get whittled down. See what top guys make it through.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's more New York, Josh.
How dare you?
Yeah, nobody walks in New Jersey. They all drive on their packed, heavily tolled roads. Were you gonna say? You don't even know. You've never even left North Carolina. So I had to take Andrew here through a few different threats to finally get to the sub. Yeah, I know, Coop. God, I was kidding. Lighten up, man. Jeez. So setting up the mounted triangle, Josh inspired me earlier, so stepping over here, but Andrew keeps his hands together, which is going to make it difficult for me to finish. We roll up to where I can address not only the grip, but try to adjust my angle more easily. If I have to do those two things, you know, I'd rather do it from a position of greater mobility. Now as he starts stacking me over, one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to be put on my neck and it's going to hurt. I'm going to let it go. And then I'm going to roll backwards and I'll turtle up and I've lost everything. Or I get my head offline to the outside and I roll over my shoulder and try to, resurrect the whole offensive threat here. So I go over my shoulder. We're back up into kind of a mounted position, but I'm still, I would say, no better off. The hands are not together anymore, so it's a slight improvement. But now as we roll through again, I can focus on just getting to my angle, not having to break grip, hook an arm in, the sort of things I was doing on the last go around. Now, problem is, Andrew's shoulders are just too manly and broad, and I can't get to a good triangle, right, with my tiny legs. So I start to make sure I have everything controlled and locked up, and then I make a quick switch into the armbar here by taking my leg over top. Before I make that switch, though, I really, really focus on making sure I have his arm as deep into this as I can have it. Because when I make this switch, there's a moment there where some space is created where he can shut this down, create more space, quickly pull his arm out. Any little bit that'll get him safe. So I make sure everything's nice and tight here. I make my switch, and then gets me a quick tap from there. Ew, dude, you were born in Pittsburgh? I'm more of a Philly guy.
But not Pennsylvania guy.
What? The tri-state area? Whatever happened to that,
Yeah.
man? Thought they were all brothers. I love a good Philly accent. Jason going after Brandon's legs here. On the outside, Ashi doesn't have heel exposure, but switches to a straight ankle. Brandon looking cool, calm, collected, carefree as the bell saved him. I am curious if Jason would have gotten this.
It's very high up on the shin.
Yeah.
Not really low. You can kind of see the toes peeking out behind the shoulder there.
And this space that I frequently talk about, pretty wide, right? The chin is very far from the hands. And then other things here, the tip I learned from you a long time ago, rolling up on your side and tucking this elbow deep underneath behind you puts a lot of pressure onto the straight ankle. So I think if Jason would have gotten this, it would have been significant muscling and Brandon feeling like his shin was about to snap, but definitely some room to tighten that up, Jason. Never will step foot there. What do you have against Philly, dude?
Beefsteaks.
Whatever, man. They're good.
With the cheese whiz?
No. Not with cheese whiz.
That's the real Philly.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the two places that argue over which one's real. One uses cheese whiz, the other I think uses like provolone. Don't get all Jersey food superior on me. I hate when you
well, if you want to
people
compare Jersey
do that
food, and then you want to compare that to a cheesesteak, I'm game.
Yeah, I agree. It totally incomparable.
Yeah.
One is far better than the other.
Yeah.
And we're not saying which. Pittsburgh's so good. Why don't you marry it, dude? Why don't you go back there? How do you say Philly cheese in Italian, Josh? Oh. Danny's got Cooper in the... Actually, it was nothing. He didn't really have a triangle.
Was this you and Josh round 2? Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to set up my body lock. Josh does a good job getting me off balance, though. I feel like you guys go so much harder with me sometimes than each other. It's not fair. Let's see if Cooper can get out of this one. Negative.
Slow burn. That is the Katagatame. Josh is like, I've had enough of this hand fight. I'm just going to try and smother you.
Yeah. He actually does. I'm pretty sure he got a smother on me here. It's like I'm not fighting out of it. Look, if Danny gets an arm triangle on you, it's good luck getting out of it. It's a tough one. Or maybe he didn't. It was right about here I realized that it was towards the end of the night. We were all sweaty and leg entanglements were not helping me at all.
Mm.
Josh forever running back into my close guard. Almost. Good pass by my legs though.
Ooh. Jason is in on an arm triangle on Chris. Looks very deep, but Chris has, like, you need to have that dude dead to rights to get a Katagatame on him.
Yeah, he doesn't tap easily to those. He does a very good job of turning into them and somehow finding whatever little bit of space you've left.
Yeah, you're right on.
Like even at the hips, like his elbow may not move, but like he'll turn his hips enough to where it relieves some of that torque, and then as you adjust, like he'll find some space and just start taking it away from you. Nice slow progress.
Really solid. Yeah, I want to see if this works. By all accounts, this should.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like he takes away that torque by turning up towards you. What is the main point of the no arm triangle? To waste time and try to hold your opponent's head.
Ask Steven.
Yeah, ask old Cyclops. People from Pittsburgh eat pizza weird. Elaborate. How do they eat their pizza? That's weird.
Eat weird pizza, not pizza weird.
Oh, eat weird pizza. I got you. Oh my god.
I may have forgotten a lot, but I didn't forget how to smother. The smother choke, also known as mother's milk. When applied properly, the smother choke can end a match quickly by cutting off
your opponent's breathing. Do you hear it being red
breathing.
right now?
How to set it up: you need to gain a strong mount position.
Do you hear it being red right now?
Oh no, I don't.
Thank you, Josh. I guess it cut it off. It's too long. We're all screwed now. Josh knows how to ask ChatGPT how to do jujitsu. So Chris, spoiler alert, made his way out of that arm triangle.
Dude, I don't know how the hell he does it. He's got to give me some pointers.
Yeah, for real.
But here, Jason can take a page out of Danny's book and start applying that Darce.
Yeah.
Because that is what. So this is the middle, like this middle ground. You have to be very careful with where Chris is playing here. Right where he has the right hand, kind of like in the middle of the back here. I normally want to see either very, very high up on the trap, the far trap, the near trap, or very, very low across the waist.
Or under the butt, around the thigh.
Around the thigh, exactly. Kind of like you're going to be shooting for a high crotch single or a high single. I think, but yeah, okay. So Jason's going in and starting to apply some Darce threat here. And this is the reason why we don't want to see it in the middle ground.
For Jason, though, he needs to get this knee out. Like, he needs to get the knee over. The Darce is not going to happen if that knee is in there. So he's got to slip that knee first. Because he's going to essentially need a knee cut up the body to have any chance of really sending this one home.
Yeah, I mean, some people can do that. Like, I mean, I know Danny is very proficient at staying with that in half guard and hitting the Darce. You know, requires longer arms. Really, what at least I've been playing around with is committing enough to get the left shoulder as deep as possible into the, you know, basically to get the left hand all the way through to grab the neck on the far side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, on some people I can't do that. Like, I physically can't reach.
Yeah. Well, first off, Cooper, Mr. College English here, spelled that way. And yeah, of course, we'll show it to you.
Yeah.
Just remind us. Let's see what I did with Josh here. So I tried to spin into the legs, get the heel exposure, but he slips the knee. And then I really wanted to try to take his back here off the failed leg entrance, because I have essentially his legs, once he pulls that knee out, both of his legs, like his knees are pointing behind me and his back is facing me. I need to close a lot of distance in order to do that. So he manages to scramble up, but so do I. Get a little run going, hit a little tap on the outside of his leg as I try to take him over in that direction, and he's just too slow for his leg to catch up. But it does a good job getting me off balance. So we got 2 rounds left here.
You and Chris, Josh and Andrew. See how you deal with Chris's guard this round. He's been playing that reverse De La Hiva.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first time you passed him off of this leg configuration, him shooting in for Ashi, and then you essentially backstepping your way out of the Ashi entanglement.
Yeah, I was game
Now
for playing a little bit of leg stuff here.
Yeah.
We're getting late into the evening.
Yeah. 50-50.
And I've really liked testing my 50-50 against Chris. Like when we were doing it during legs week, he was throwing up some really good attacks and posing a good challenge. So it's fun to get into these positions with him and try to fight off what he's toying with. Look away for 1 second. So all this was, as he gets my leg, what I'm focusing on here is breaking his grip on my ankle. I don't want him setting up an Achilles lock because that'll be very, very difficult for me to get back. So I'm assuming here he was going just more on either he had like a claw grip on my ankle, or maybe he was trying to expose my heel. So I'm hand fighting here. I start to stack towards him and pull my heel to my butt. Once my heel is back, I'm in a passing position. Like, this is totally fine for me. I don't have any leg threat at this point. You see my heel start to emerge. He's essentially in a leg drag.
When your partner builds hip height on you and you're in outside or straight Ashi, it's not a good advantageous position. Yeah. And what I'll say to make it even more specific is that when you have outside Ashi or straight Ashi and your knee is on the outside of their hip, so you can see that Chris's left knee is on the outside of your left hip, this is just bad news, right? If Chris's left knee was inside of your hip, framing in between you and him, you wouldn't be able to close the distance effectively, and it would be a different story, right? And the same would be true, like you were saying, if he had an ankle, like a straight ankle Achilles grip on you, because then you wouldn't be able to sprawl your leg back in order to get into this passing position. So those are the only two caveats to that outside that I know of, at least, or that I've had any success with.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I just make a real sloppy mistake here of loading myself back up over his leg. I think I was just trying to go back into leg pummeling stuff since we had talked about it recently.
Yeah.
But at the very least, it gets me back to a top half guard, which is
not a bad spot. And
yeah, it's a good passing position to work from. Here I go on the attack for the Kimura. What are Josh and Andrew doing? Josh in this like squat position. A squatted mount. Alright. There we go. I wouldn't expect that to be very stable, Josh. Now, here we see a spinning the leg example. We talked about it a couple times tonight. Getting my heel all the way up. I don't spin the leg here, though, all the way. I think I stop in reverse Ashi, which I probably shouldn't have. I think I just got lazy. Chris was able to keep his leg safe. Yeah, this... I feel like Chris... Well, I won't speak for Chris. I was definitely slow this round. Just going around. Okay, so you make it onto the back. Good switch.
Like the switch. Yep, that was nice.
Your lower body controls garbage right now, though. I want that. Like, your bottom hook isn't in. You took it out. Andrew, I think if Andrew had a little bit more fight in him, or this was earlier in the night. To your point, Andrew. Easy hip switch, like, turn to your right, scoot your hips out in this direction, put your back to the mat. There's no hook there, so Josh, it looks like you started to do that, but again, slow, tired round. I don't blame you for tapping. So now Chris has swept me. Is in a better position.
You're in on a Kimura. You do the nice Kimura trap to the back take.
Once I know I have the grip here, my only other concern is getting my bottom half guard leg, which is hidden, untangled from his leg. And once it is, my hips are free to move. And I just go all the way around.
Yep. And you're opting for the high ball ride here.
Yeah, Chris is getting very, very good at shutting down my, like getting both hooks in, you know. He stops that pretty immediately. No, it's not. It's only for you. I don't touch the music volume, so you're hearing things. You're probably just tired. You might need to go to bed.
Nice dive through, or the diving, or the roll through half guard.
Who does that?
From that dogfight position, you.
Oh.
So you come up into like the dogfight.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was
pressuring in with the whizzer.
Yeah, pressuring heavy over this way. So just a quick roll.
Yeah, and you push in the side, instead of like having to scoop. He's so committed into you that you just give him a push. You try that knee tap, but then you're pulling with the left and, you know, across the body, and then I think you take your right hand and maybe push on his side. If not,
I think his knee. Like,
are you guiding his knee?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So right there, pushing the leg over to complete the roll. I don't know what you're talking about, Cooper.
The same pass here that you did before, but you were trying to do like a rolling back attack.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Why not?
Gotta play around with them every once in a while.
Yeah. Chris was game for it.
Josh getting the arm isolated. This is so sloppy. You guys look like garbage this round.
Exhaustion. Extreme exhaustion.
We all looked like garbage that round. Not just you two. So Jordan and Caleb to finish it out. You being tiered? I think you mean tired. So tired you're spelling everything wrong. There you go. Josh knows how to spell tired. See, I'll go out with the two Titans for the last roll. Zoom in on these jokers. Hopefully they don't go too far off to the side. Sounds good, Andrew.
Caleb,
take it easy, bud.
Later, guys. Caleb, when you've got your partner is really posted up on that elbow, like how Jordan was, I've talked about it before. Well, here, so you know, you went in, you tried to tap the elbow, and that's all well and good, right? Like that's totally acceptable, but strong guys they're not gonna go over for that. So a lot of times what you have to do is scoop underneath and grab their lat. So here you're trying to tap the elbow and bring him over. You know, he's a big dude. His shoulders are strong. He's not going to go down very easily. But what you can do is you can actually scoop underneath, grab the far lat, and then pull the lat into you and you'd be very surprised on how easy it is to make even the stronger of your opponents flop right over on their back.
Yeah. A little chin whip here. Caleb setting up for the 10-finger guillotine. There it is.
Say Friday night at the Morsel Cookout parking lot. Yeah, it does.
Don't bring up Cookout again.
Bro. I could totally
sidetrack the whole conversation. You can always go for a milkshake.
I can always go for a milkshake.
It's been flickering the whole time, Coop. So Caleb had a question. We talked about it, I think yesterday. Like, he felt Jordan going in on like the knee grip here, like he was gonna double him. And like, what would happen if you went through with that double? My only real thought is that if he withstood the trach choke long enough to actually like spring up off of his feet and barrel into Caleb, he might send Caleb back and get a rolling escape out of this. I don't think the strangle wouldn't stay in place, because this is kind of reliant on your opponent being grounded, like on their shins or on their butt. Once they have that mobility, I think they're pretty safe. So we'll probably just initiate a scramble if I'm thinking about it. He would have to like basically either slip his head out, which is that's your fault for letting that happen because you had your posture too high, or he would have to roll out, at which point you're in a scramble. So if that does happen, I don't think all is lost. The submission might be, but you're not necessarily going to get taken over. You just have to be quick to get up before he does. See if Jordan reaches over the back. He's trying to collect the arms. Yeah, I think I was going to say to flip him over. Gonna be a hard sell. There's the roll. That was good though. He sat his hips up north of the shoulder line, making it harder for Caleb to get the roll. Good adjustment. So now we're coming to the point, I touched on this yesterday. When you guys get into side control, you kind of have two paths to follow. It's either, do I advance my position, going to knee on belly, going to mount, looking for the back, or do I try to isolate the limb and eventually break it or strangle or whatever? So here, it looks like Jordan was trying to isolate more than anything, which is perfectly fine. Caleb has just made it a pain in the ass now by going to turtle. But he was opting for that far arm control over the dorsal Kimura and all the things that fall out of that. But, remember, you can switch up to knee on belly. You can go back to side control. You can attack the far arm, elevate it, go to mount. Like there are these kind of dual spots you can, or not dual, but like you can go down one path and switch to the other fairly easily. Just one of the reasons side control is great if you can retain it. Yeah, essentially. And if that sounds like a duh, of course that's your option, or those are your options. I can't tell you how many times in this week alone people have said, I don't know what to do from here. or I don't have good attacks from here. And when someone has a, you know, decent, I don't want to call it guard retention because their guard has already been passed, but like when someone stops you very easily from like getting to mount, and you don't have any good submission attacks, well then you have nothing from side control. So it's a spot where there's always room to improve. Caleb smothers Jordan here from the bottom, and that hurts my heart to see, primarily because Luke thinks that this is viable and I don't think it is. And now it's becoming viable. But so far, I think it's only been on white belts. I think it's only been done on white belts. I don't know. I can't remember who Luke did it to. Yeah, I saw that. It was yeah, it was from bottom half guard. He wasn't going anywhere from that. Dirty. That was nice. Better than what? Better is comparative. I need to know what you're comparing it to. And almost, yeah, I'd give him the guard pass there at the end. Looks like he made his way up into mount. Wasn't happy about it. He said he thought about it for a second and didn't think I'll get it. Yeah, that's if I'm being totally honest, Luke tried to do that to me during pass sweep submit, and I purposefully rolled so that if I did tap, he was on top and he couldn't claim that he smothered somebody from the bottom or smothered me from the bottom. So never happened to me. You're welcome, son. Thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out. As always, we really appreciate the support. Blake, thank you for the follow, as well as we got Rocksoul13, another follow this week. Always appreciate the support, guys. If you like what you're seeing, you could subscribe here as well. You could use your Twitch Prime, which costs you nothing and helps out the stream a little bit. Thank you, guys. Grodd restention. I'm lost. I'm lost,
Close.
Cooper. I feel, yeah, you're making me more
Go
dumber.
to your advisor. Yeah, go to your advisor. Yeah. And maybe add some grammar and vocab.
Yeah, remedial spelling, whatever.
Remedial.
You'll get there.
You'll get there.
Yeah. You could still be an engineer and not know how to spell. Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah.
Follow us over on YouTube as well. You guys can subscribe there. We will post this for you to review if you'd like. I will be teaching this Sunday. See you, Blake. Yes, read a dictionary. That helps too.
All of it, cover to cover.
Yeah, I suggest the Oxford English Dictionary. It's thousands and thousands of pages. It's a good one. Strong character development, solid plot.
No Miriam bullshit.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, no. Oxford all the way.
Oxford, yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Since a bunch of people are going to watch ADCC trials, I will be covering Saturday. Yes, and we will be jealously awaiting their updates from how awesome trials is. So you better keep us posted. Mikey, you're gonna wear your gold chain up there. Are you growing your scruff out and
damn right.
Only wearing white tees and shit while you're up there?
Working on my
Yeah. Sunday and open mat. Yes, it should be. I will not be there on Sunday, and telling you now, I will not be. I guess we'll skip the stream on Sunday because I'll be out of town. You'll be out of town, so no stream Sunday. And then you'll be back next Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I will not be, so Mike will see you guys next Wednesday. But yeah, dude, Mike's got a whole drawer full of those. He's
every day
ready to go. That's right, a whole page for punishment in 3rd grade. Did people make you write like I will not, you know, like write something 1,000 times? Did you ever have to do that as a punishment?
Like on the chalkboard and stuff. Oh yeah.
Or
yeah,
just like
even on the piece of paper.
Yeah. God,
Totally.
I never had to do it. I always thought that was such a weird punishment, but I'm really glad I never had to do it. Anyway, all right, getting off track. We will see you guys very soon. I'll see y'all on Saturday. Go trim your nails and do your laundry and don't be stinky. And we'll see you on the mats. Take it easy.